Cloud Storage. All right, welcome to our winter sing-along, and this is sort of a follow-up from when we did our sing-along, our nature-based sing-along in September of 2023. This is our January 2024 one. We are recording it, so I will share the link to the recording in the Thursday newsletter that I send out each week. And so you can have a link to that recording, and it will also live in my YouTube channel, which sounds really fancy. There's like a total of, I think, 16 videos there. So it's not like I'm not actually a YouTuber, but it's a great way to store things that we've done so we can come back to them. So after this training, for those of you who are here live at 7:15, I'm going to drop a link. You'll do your attendance in there. That'll be the attendance verification. And then tomorrow, I'll send out the link to the recording, and I'll reshare the link to the book, the song book, and I'll put that link in just a second also in the chat. So if you have a song that you want to type into the book, you could do that. And it's a nice way to kind of have the songs, recording the songs, and so we can hear we can hear what it sounds like to sing it, and have the lyrics written down in the songbook. And so it's great if we can have both of those things. But to just sort of back up for a second, because I jumped right in and didn't really even introduce myself. I know most of you know me, but there are a few names that I don't recognize. So awesome and welcome to this space. My name's April Zyko. I am a nature-based early childhood educator based in Vermont, and really my teaching passion is now supporting educators in really bringing nature into their curriculum. And so to me, that's nature as part of the curriculum is really important, because we want children to feel that connection to nature. And so I talk a lot about curricular kinds of things, the ways we set up our environment in the indoor classroom, the way we create our outdoor classrooms. But our focus tonight is on song. And you've been getting the emails from me, and I've been sharing my own worries about, actually, I'm not feeling worried this time, but singing in front of adults is not, is outside of my comfort zone. But I have some wonderful people, and all of you are here. And so we're going to kind of share in this together. I, yeah, so I think that's probably enough of an introduction. I do want to see, oh, let me just check the chat. Okay. Yep. Yeah. And if you, there's some private messages that, if you do want to have your camera off, that's totally fine. Some people are still cooking dinner, no problem. Some people came with songs and they're excited to sing and they love to sing in front of adults. And we are so glad you're here. And others just want to listen in and get some ideas. So the easiest way for us to do this is to, along the taskbar, on the bottom. So if you kind of hover right below where all the photos are, there's a bar that comes up there, and there's a little smiley face, and it says reactions. And if you click on the reactions button, there's lots of different buttons that you can click there, but one says raise hand. So when you raise your hand, it indicates to me that you would like to go and to share your song, and we'll get started. And then the anxiety starts because no one raises their hand. You can also unmute and just start saying.
Okay, I did not raise my hand this way.
Oh, there you are. Marianne is here.
Hi,
It's been a
April.
while. It's good to see
I
you.
know. How are you?
Good. You look snug in your scarf there.
Yeah, I'm tucked away in my bedroom, and I put a scarf on to cover my double chin. What do you think?
Well, I saw someone exploring with some I don't even know how she did it. And I missed who was even doing it, but she was, yeah, there you go. It was Erica. Erica figured out how to be a kitten or a bunny or something. Do they have
Cool.
a double chin app in there, Erica? I don't know.
Oh, cute, Erica. I like it.
Oh, Angel. There you are.
Okay, so you're just wanting people to share their songs?
Yeah, just to share your song. And if you've put it in the songbook, that's great. And if not, then if you want to add it, actually, sorry, I haven't dropped the link to the songbook. I should have done that. Yeah, actually, let's pause for just a second, Marianne, and say if anybody has questions, we could entertain questions too, but I will drop a link to, and I know some people are not comfortable with opening Google Docs, and that's fine too, but it is nice. The more songs that we can capture in the document, the better. Okay. I don't think we have any questions. So Marianne, if you want to kick us off, that would be great.
Okay, so my short, I have this really cute short little winter song that I always do with the kids. And it's called Once There Was a Snowman. And it just goes, and you act it out as you go, and you go, once there was a snowman, snowman, snowman. Once there was a snowman, tall, tall, tall. And you get big and tall, and you just stretch as tall as you can go. And then we get sad and we say, in the sun he melted, melted, melted. In the sun he melted, small, small, small. We talk about what melting snow is like and what it would look like if you were a melted snow in a puddle of water on the ground. And the kids roll around in the ground and they think it's so funny, and do it inside mostly on cold days, but sometimes we do it outside when we're making a snowman, and they get all excited about it, and it's super fun. And then the only other little song that I was thinking of sharing is just really, we play a lot of charades. I've got some school age kids that just really love to act things out, and then have and so we will play a game of charades, and we say, let's think of something we do in the winter time, and then they act it out and we guess it, and then we say, like, this is the way we build a snow fort, build a snow fort, build a snow fort. This is the way we build a snow fort. Happy day. And they just act it out. And then we do another charade, and maybe somebody was acting out going snowboarding, and we sing, this is the way we go snowboarding, and just keep going like that. And it could go on for a half an hour of all the different outside activities. And so those are just some ideas I had.
Awesome. Thank
And I
you.
have no idea how to put it on a Google Doc, so maybe I can figure out how to put it in a chat or something, but we'll see.
Yeah, if you want to put it in the chat, I can cut and paste it over there. I don't have the bandwidth to I'm not that good at multitasking to type while you're singing.
Okay.
Let's see. Yay, Ellen is here. Ellen is from New Hampshire, one of our Yeah, it's nice to
Hi, April. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice
I
to
know.
meet you.
Someday face to face.
Yes.
So when we were all kind of loading on, a lot of people were talking about getting children dressed. And I think we can all have a moment of silence for getting children dressed at school. But I hadn't put it in the songbook. I did put a couple of other songs on. There's one we used to use to get the children dressed. And I wondered if anybody else has a good tune. Ours sort of was to Frere Jacques. It was first my snow pants, first my snow pants, then my boots, then my boots. Next comes my jacket, next comes my jacket. Zip it up, zip it up. Next comes my hat, next comes my hat. Nice and snug, nice and snug. And this is so important. Last comes my mittens. Like, I feel like we need to scream it from the rooftops. For the children who's just walking around with nothing but his mittens on and says, I can't do it. I can't do anything. So I will put that in the songbook. I just, it reminded me as everybody was like, oh God, snow pants and 12 legs, 24 digits, gloves. I agree, they should be banned. Yeah. So that's my little one. I have some other ones that are in the songbook as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, I have a getting dressed song, but I'm going to try to find the words to it and add it to the songbook. Yay, Nancy Noel is here. It's so good to see you.
So, I'm on my phone. I tried to forward it to my Gmail. I couldn't get it. So I put two in the songbook. One had a couple verses, but I mainly sing the first one. And it's the Mitten song. Thumb in the thumb place, fingers all together. This is the song we sing in mitten weather. And so it goes on to say it doesn't matter whether it's mittens are made of wool or the finest leather, and it goes thumb in the thumb place. That I find that repetitive really help them. And as the lady said before, gloves should be banned and we should all stay with mittens. But we find that the tune is catchy enough and short enough that the kids will grasp it and sing it as they're trying to put their mittens on, which is helpful. And then as I was trying to see if there were anything else out there, I had found this one. I hadn't seen it before, and it actually was a mitten based on the story from Jan Brett, which I thought was kind of neat. And it's sung to Farmer in the Dell, and it says, the mittens on the ground, the mittens on the ground, hi ho, it's cold outside, the mittens on the ground. And I really liked it because then it added what animals came in, and so it really added to the vocabulary, saying, the mole burrows in, the mole barrels in, hi ho the dairy-o, the mole barrels in. And then the rabbit hops in, the hedgehog sniffles in, the owl swoops in, the badger climbs in, the fox trots in, the bear lumbers in, and the mouse wriggles in. I ho the dairy-o. I thought that was kind of cute, knowing that I have a couple classrooms using Jan Brett's books this week. That what a great way to get your sequencing in and adding vocabulary words.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And you said you did put them in the book.
Yeah, I did, with one mistake spelling on the mole. I got the mile, so sorry about that.
No worries, we can figure that out. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Lisa Baker.
Okay, so I had put a couple in, but the only one I can think of without the words is a snowman song that I got from a coworker years ago. And it's a counting song. You count down, and it's 5 little snowmen standing in a row, each with a hat and a big red bow. Out came the sun, and it shone all day, till one of the snowmen melted away. And then, of course, you go on with counting down with 4 and 3, so on.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, so you're getting a little math in there, and yeah, I love that. Awesome. Thank you for that. Let's see. I have one. I can't, for some reason, I can't cut and paste it into the one of my students in the summer course that I taught gave it to me, but it has little images with it, which is kind of neat. So let me just show it to you, and then it does allow me to share a link, so I'll put the link. It sounds complicated, especially for people who don't like Google Docs, but there's a link to this one in the songbook, but it's called First Your Snow Pants, and it's sung to the tune of Oh My Darling. So first your snow pants, then your snow boots. I can't do the tune to it because I don't sing. This isn't one I've really sang yet with my group, but yeah, I don't know the tune well enough to do it. But that one's in there.
First your snow pants, then your snow boots, then your coat and your hat. Then your mittens go on last, and you're ready, just like that.
Just like
That's a
that.
cute one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, my
And-
darling Clementine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my darling Clementine, exactly. And then it has on the second page, sorry,
Cool.
yeah, the second page of it has these little graphics. So you could make this, you could print this out, and it could be a sequencing that you put right on their cubbies. Or if you wanted to, sometimes with visuals, we make them laminated and then use Velcro. So like as they did the snow pants, we could take it, if you were working with an individual child. I have 15, I can't do the Velcro bit, but we could laminate these, and then that visual could also support them. And that, wanting to get the mittens on last certainly would be easy with this one. So that is linked. Let me just show you where it is, because it's the very first thing on page 3, of the songbook. And if you're thinking, what is she talking about the songbook? There's a songbook. You'll get a link to this in the email tomorrow. And I'm going to take out these beginning words, and because we won't need the Zoom link again, because the Zoom link will be done. Oh wait, it's not on page 3. Where did I put it? Oh gosh. Let me move it to page 3 so that it's like it's one of the first ones, because I really like that one. I think it's really practical to have those. Yeah. Okay. Let me stop sharing and we can go on to the next person. Awesome. Susan. Oh, and then Erica, we'll have you go next.
What I wanted to say for also is when I'm working with toddlers, I say first your snow pants and then I say nothing else, because the minute I say the word mittens, that's all they think about. So it'd be first your snow pants, first your snow pants, first your snow pants, first your snow pants. And I'd see the whole verse, and then I'd wait until they all have their snow pants on before I say anything about anything else, because that's what they hear what you say last. But I put 2 songs in there. They're not my songs. I got them from coworkers who probably got them from other places. But one that I like is just kind of a chant, and it goes, "A chubby little snowman had a carrot nose. Along came a bunny, and what do you suppose? That hungry little bunny, looking for his lunch, ate that snowman's carrot nose. Nibble, nibble, crunch." And I like that one a lot. It's just fun, and the kids giggle, and you can do all the hand motions like you were just doing.
Yeah.
And the other one I put is
Can I
just
pause
really
there just for 1 second, Susan? For that one too, what I've done in the past is we made we took toilet paper tubes and cut them, and then used orange paint. Sometimes we've done them with paint, or orange tape was even easier, because then we could form it into a carrot looking thing. And then we used yarn and we made these little carrot noses. So I don't know, it was a fun little sort of, extension activity there.
Definitely fun.
Yeah.
The other one I put in there was "A Sledding We Will Go," and it's just the tune of "A Hunting We Will Go." It's a really quick song. It just goes, "A sledding we will go, a sledding we will go. We'll hold on tight and sit just right, and down the hill we go. Whee!" So it's just quick and easy.
A fun one. That'd be a good concept of word too for older children, but when those short little songs and having them printed and doing some concept of word practice too once the song is memorized is great. We're going to go to Erica and then Miss Joy.
Hi, good evening, everybody. So I like to play with our snow gear. So we like to do like a snow gear hokey pokey. So you put your mitten in, you put your mitten out, put your mitten in, and you shake it all about. You do that. You guys get it. You do. So and I just find that it helps them really with the concept of what is what, right? So especially for our kiddos who are not atypical, having that repetition and being able to experience the items without the stress of getting ready. The other thing that I wanted to share was that I have a visual as well that has actual pictures on it. It doesn't have just images. And so I made this one a few years ago, but they can still tell me whose hat is whose and whose boots are whose and where they came from. And we go through that. The only thing I have to say is that for my toddlers, a lot of them, I have to have their mittens on before their jacket gets on. Otherwise, how are you even tucking those in? Depending on what mittens
What kind
you
of
have,
mittens?
right?
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother thing we're doing in our class, isn't it?
Yeah.
But,
We have, the snow stopper mittens are the ones that I like for like with mittens, you can either go over or under. And most kids or in the past, really had over ones, but the ones who have the snowstopper ones that have that like stretchy elastic cuff, it has to go on before the jacket, which is a little confusing because once one kid does it, then they all want to put their mittens on first. But
Oh, but that's what's great about that image that you shared was that you can like,
yeah,
you can put it in a different order so that, and like I don't have an issue with like, I'm a little special because I have a 3-season room. So I have a
that's nice.
3-season porch. So the children that are the quick get ready,
yes.
they go out on the 3-season room. But the ones that don't, of course, the ones that need more assistance, more help, or that are younger, are able to take their time and really get to it. And we're like pointing to the the visual and saying, okay, this is what we're doing. But I really like bringing in, and they love to like, these are my mittens and this is my hat, and to like, and then you can even talk about like pairing that, there's 2 mittens. Let's practice putting them on. Let's practice putting our boots on. Let's practice zipping our jacket. So there's lots of extensions that we can do while doing, the snowy pokey, as I call it. So I'll put that in the workbook.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think the whole, there's a lot to what I like to think about is getting dressed is hard, but there's a lot of learning opportunities for it too. And so there's those strategies where the kids who take longer, we can get them started earlier. Sometimes that works, but sometimes it's just sensory overwhelm. And so if you do have a space where like the ones who are ready can leave, and then you're really able to concentrate on the ones who need your support, that can certainly be a great strategy. But yeah, if you can pop that in the document, that would be awesome.
It's also a good idea, like she said, everybody does their snow pants first. Is everybody done their snow pants? Oh, this person needs help getting their snow pants on. Help your friend.
Yeah.
And then going to the next step is also great, because a lot of people don't have an outside space to go to, and the kids are just like, I'm hot, or they start getting undressed. So
for preschool too, we do a buddy strategy sometimes. So the ones who are really skilled, who are like super fast at getting it done, they'll become a buddy and they'll help someone even before they start. And if they know how to zip zippers, that's one skill, to zip it on your own self, and it's another skill to learn how to zip a friend's zipper. So we do that as a strategy as well. And yeah, it's like yeah, I have maybe I'll try to find it and link it in there, but I have an article I wrote last winter about all of the skills. Well, it's probably not even all of them, but is it worth it? Like, is it worth taking this much time to get dressed? And so what I did is I listed all of the skills, and I was like, I know that I have it because it was in one of the newsletters last winter, but even printing that up to remind yourself, like, oh my gosh, there are all of these skills that kids are learning during the getting dressed. So it is worth the effort. All right, we're going to go to Miss Joy and then to Jeremy.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
This is my first meeting, so thank you so much for having me. I think many of you might know each other, but I'm brand new.
Awesome. Where are you from, Miss Joy?
Connecticut.
Oh, awesome.
I'm calling in from Connecticut.
Excellent.
I did add, do you just want winter songs? Because I added like a greeting song at the start of the Google document that I thought I would share.
Okay, yeah.
If it's useful at all.
We welcome all songs. Our focus is winter, but a new greeting song is always welcome.
I'll follow it up with some of the winter things I've been doing in my classes.
Awesome.
But I always start with a greeting song with my kids. I'd like to say hi. I'd like to say hi to you. Will you say hi to me too? I like to say hi, and I like to wave. I like to wave hi to you. Will you wave hi to me too? I like to wave hi. It's wonderful when we can come together with friendly ways of greeting one another. I like to say hi. And then there's the second verse. I like to shake hands, and I go around shaking their hands. And then I'd high five. I'd like to high five. And so that's how that song goes. That's the song that I added. So I'm sorry, it's not exactly winter, but
That's
if you're looking
okay.
for a greeting song, I thought that I would throw that out there.
It's fun
Um,
mid-year to have like a little fresh something, you know? So good. Yeah.
And one of the winter songs I've been doing with my kids that they find super engaging, they stop what they're doing. And it's to the tune of Farmer in the Dell. And this is not one that I wrote, I found it. So it's, and I don't normally sing for adults, so I'm a little nervous. I usually sing for kids. Let's sing a winter song. Let's sing a winter song. The days are short, the nights are long. Let's sing a winter song. The winter air is cold. Brr, the winter air is cold. It freezes ears, nose, your nose, and your toes. The winter air is cold. Winter now is here. Winter now is here. Put on your coat, your mittens and hat. Winter time is here. And then I'll follow that up. I'll take in like a hat and a scarf and mittens. And I'll go, my hat goes on my head, and I'll put my hat on. My hat goes on my head. Warm clothes for when it's cold. My hat goes on my head. And then I'll take my scarf and I'll wrap it around my neck. And I'll say, my scarf goes around my neck. My scarf goes around my neck. Warm clothes for when it's cold. My scarf goes around my neck. And I'll do that for like mittens. And I'll take a glove and I show them. You were talking about clothes, so that's why I'm bringing
Oh
this up.
yeah, for sure.
I held up my glove in one hand and I said, this is my glove. And all of my fingers have their own little room. And let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll hold up my mitten and I'll say, my thumb has its own room, but all the other fingers are in there. They're having a party in one big room. You can see them in there, but you can't really see them. And for extra warmth and fun. So that is my close song. Or I'll just kind of put on actions for other things. And they seem to like that.
Yeah. Oh,
You're all
definitely.
music teachers on here?
No,
Are you
no,
all
we're
music teachers?
definitely not. There's most are early childhood educators, and I don't know everybody that's on here. We have, let's see, 32, but the majority are early childhood educators, majority from Vermont, but not everybody is from Vermont. So we're glad you found us. So I'm
Well,
glad
thank you so
thanks
much
for
for
your time.
having me and giving
Yeah,
me a moment to talk.
yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you.
Absolutely. All right, Jeremy.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me tonight. And I just wanted to thank everybody who shared so far. You brought so much joy and inspiration to my teaching method. I really kind of leaned into music, and I use music as a method for transition, actually. So when we're asking about gear songs, I'm really happy that we had a couple of songs to help us with gear. Mine is just like a typical chant to kind of get gear going. I go snow pants, boots, jackets, hats, gloves. Break it down now. Snow pants, boots, jackets, hats, gloves. I see you, and then I start. You start giving the praise to the friends who kind of start doing it. Like, I like the way that you're putting your boots on, and then you got the other friends that keep the chant going in the back. Snow pants, boots. So that chant just kind of like it goes on, and friends, I noticed it's a little contagious. So that's one that's worked for me. Also, I didn't know that gloves were banned, so we can go snow pants, boots, jackets, hats, mittens. I can do that too. Mittens work. And then when we kind of start getting a couple of friends ready to go outside, those ones that get going fast and they're warm, and we take our first group out because we do two groups. But I like your buddy system idea too. Lots of great ideas, and thank you for everything for all that.
Yeah.
My song for transitioning outside, I'll start going, yeah, like to the tune of if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Mhm.
If and then a couple of kids will hear me start going, they're like, oh no, he's gonna start singing. If you're ready to go outside, say, oh yeah, like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah. And then if you're ready to go outside, stomp your boots, stomp, stomp, and they all stomp. Do you have your hats and gloves? And they'll show me, and they'll show me. And then I'll see, oh, we got to get one friend. So I'll kind of pause the song until the song's still going, but we're pausing for the song, the kids that need to get the rest of their gear. Are you ready to have fun? Yeah, if you're ready to go outside, let's please march 2, 3. And then we just kind of march outside with that group. But it's kind of like my outdoor transitions start where I start going, if, oh, you see a couple of friends ready to go, if, and it's kind of fun to see how they react so well to music, which is why I think this get together is so valuable. Thank you again, everyone, for sharing all your music and singing for adults. You all can sing for adults. Don't sell yourselves short. You all are great for singing for adults.
Jeremy, are you at Next Generation? Am I remembering that?
Yeah, I'm up next gen Georgia. Yeah, Georgia,
Georgia.
Vermont.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here and bringing the energy. I think that's fun. And
Thank you.
I think it's a great model too, that, we can do all different kinds of like having the chant, kind of like a variety of music. So awesome. Thank you for that. All right, let's see. Billy's got her hand up. Billy, I just want to give her a little introduction because she is so much fun. Billy is the retired director of the Green Mountain Girls Camp, which is down in the southern part of the state. I can't remember the Drummerston. Is that right?
Yeah, Dummerston.
Dummerston, not Noir. And she runs a program, a children's program, nature-based program, and she runs the Green Mountain Teachers Camp. So if you've ever heard of that, it's a week-long residential, very unique professional development camp for teachers that go and stay there at the Green Mountain Green Mountain Camp in Dummerston. And what's so cool about that camp is you start and end your day with song. And so I got to attend last June and for the first time. And it was like, I don't think I've ever, well, yeah, I don't know. In my adult life, I can't really remember a time other than being at a yoga ashram for a month where we started and ended our day with song, but their songs were kirtans, and you and Kathy's songs were really inspiring. So there's your introduction, Billy. Thanks for being here.
Whoa, that's
No
quite an
pressure.
introduction. Well, thank you for that, April. I do run a nature-based program for 2 to 5-year-olds in Dummerston, and it's called Wonder in the Woods. And one of the songs we started writing a couple of years ago with the kids has kind of taken on a life of its own. And I was going to share some of the winter verses that they've added to that song. But it started one day when one of the little girls was earlier than everybody else, and we just said, "What are we going to do today?" And I said, "I wonder." And we just started making a song out of it. And it sort of grew from there. And now over the years, we've added probably 25 verses to it, but I'll just sing a couple of them. It goes like this. I wonder, I wonder, I wonder what we're going to do. I wonder if you are wondering too. And one of the first verses we came up with was, maybe we'll build a castle way up to the sky. Maybe we'll run so fast we'll feel like we could. And they all yell fly. So they like to do the rhyming part of it. But a couple of the verses they came up with specifically for winter were, maybe we'll skate on ice. Maybe we'll roll in snow. Maybe we'll chase our shadows. Hey, where'd they go? And then they sing, I wonder, I wonder, I wonder what we're going to do. I wonder if you are wondering too. And they love going in the woods. We're in the woods much of the time, every day. Maybe we'll find some tracks or see a pile of scat. They love poop. Maybe we'll spot a deer bed. Nothing better than that. And then back to the chorus again. And lots of times they will just fill in all the words. So it's a great rhyming activity as well. But I love it that it's kind of taken on a life of its own, and they can keep adding to it. I love those kinds of songs. So we just write it up on the wall, and the list is like this long now because there's so many verses to it. That's one of my favorites. And another one, I think it was Joy that was talking about greeting songs, and April knows this one, and so does Julia and Tess and people on here. We start every one of our days with, morning has come, night is away, rise with the sun and welcome the day. And then you sing it backwards. Welcome the day, rise with the sun, night is away and morning has come. And we do that for several points during the day. We have songs that are just little rituals when we walk to the story stumps or whatever, that they just really look forward to those kind of touchstones throughout the day. And you could certainly tailor that for winter specifically too. So.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Billy. Yeah, you've got a little fan club in the chat box. Julia is going, yes, highly recommend Teacher Camp, and Tess too. Awesome. And I think what was one of the stories that I like to share about Teachers Camp, because last year was my first experience there, is that it's a teachers camp, but the adults can bring their children, and so there's different age children there as well who during the day go and kind of do their own thing. But during those gathering times, you could tell that the children knew your songs. I mean, some of them were your own, Billy's own grandchildren, but some of them were children that just had learned those songs over the years with you. So
Yeah.
it's just really, I don't know, quite beautiful sense of community that I don't think that I've really experienced in other professional development sort of settings. So amazing work. Thank you for being here. All
Thank you.
right, let's see. We have Carrie who's got her hand ready to go. Hi, Carrie. No problem.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good.
Good. I just actually I found a song about the winter time that I liked. I was gonna sing, but then when everybody started to sing like their daily songs, I put one in the Google because it's the best and I love it. So I teach yoga to kids. And I'm also a teacher or educator at Hemlock Hill Academy, and I'm in Pennsylvania. It's it's like a nature-based homeschool co-op. You know, the kids are homeschooled, so they come with us for 2 days a week, and we do nature stuff. That's a lot of fun and awesome. But yeah, so this is a song, and I have 10 girls. And this is the song that I sing to them. So I did put it in the chat. And there's movement to it. So, good morning, dear Earth. Oh wait, you do this, hands out. Good morning, dear sun. Good morning, dear resting stone, and beasts on the run. Good morning, dear flowers, and birds in the trees. Good morning to you, and good morning to me. And they love it. They want to sing it. Yay, we do. It's so much fun.
That's awesome.
So that was the morning. But this was the winter time song that I found. I don't know, but Books by the Bushel. I don't know what that is, but says polar bear, turn around. Polar bear, make no sound. Polar bear, dance on your toes. Polar bear, touch your nose. Polar bear, show your paws. Polar bear, hide your claws. Polar bear, reach up high. Polar bear, wink one eye. Polar bear, say good night. Polar bear, shut your eyes tight. Polar bear, wake up now. Polar bear, take a bow. And that was cute, I thought.
That's really cute.
Yeah, thanks for letting me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Here too.
I remember, I don't have the words to the song, but it's a 5 Little Snowman song, and it's a counting backwards song. And so this is, you know how you know that you have this thing still in your stash, like so we made these white gloves, like the gloves that we don't want kids ever to wear, actually. Those little $1 knit gloves that don't serve no function for children in the snow, at least in Vermont, or in cold climates. But we drew little snowman faces on each one, and then the kids each got their own, they got one glove with the snowman on it. And then as we were counting down, singing the song and then counting down, they were changing the number of fingers they had up. I'll have to see if I can find the lyrics to that one. It's like a 5 Little Snowman song that's a backwards takeaway or counting song. All right, let's see. Who else? Who would like to go next? All right. One of the songs that I like to sing is to Frere Jacques. So I have to, usually I hum in the song. So I feel like, when you take those multiple intelligence tests, And like me, like I would score very low in the musical category, though I just keep showing up, and I like Jeremy's idea, like don't sell yourself short. So, mm, winter's coming, it is dark, it is cold. I am bundled snug and warm. Animals sleep safe from harm. Sleds and snow. Yeah, sleds and snow, cold winds blow. So it's just a little winter's coming. It's a really short one, but I like that one because it has for my older children where I'm teaching them concept of print, where I have it written on chart paper and then we're, using finger pointing to point. It only has like, 2 or 3 words in many of the lines, so it's really easy for them to get concept of print working on that. Another one that I like is let me see. Yeah, it's basically a winter pokey song, which is very similar to the one that we heard earlier. And the Chubby Little Snowman was already done. That's the one that I use most often, but I wanted to show you what I was describing. Wait, sorry. I've got a lot of tabs open because I wanted to show, I found a picture of what I was talking about because it's such a fun little craft, a little project. So this is the Chubby Little Snowman. Chubby Little Snowman had a carrot nose. So we made these little snowman noses, or sorry, not snowman, yeah, carrot noses. And then we also made these little bunnies on a little popsicle stick. So when we were singing it, we could kind of act it out with it. And so to make the snowman noses, we just took toilet paper tubes, cut them and kind of shaped them, and then used this orange tape. And some kids really wanted to paint them sort of all random colors. And it's like, childhood is short, why deny them of that? So some of them were blue, some of them were other colors, but I just thought it was a really cute little activity. And we also play a game. I don't have the lyrics to it, but essentially it's like you're dressing up a snowman. And so you're just talking about the sequence of like, not really sequence, but talking about how you're going to dress up the snowman. And then I have a basket full of different things that you might put onto a snowman, and you work with a pair or you work with a friend and you dress the friend as the snowman. So it's just a fun little activity that really it's probably less about singing and more about language development. And so, they have to kind of just, as they're dressing their snowman, they have to describe the things that they're putting on. So that was another example. And then this was us, once we had done, these kids actually are graduating high school. This one is a senior. Most of these kids are graduating high school. So I'm sure that they would love to reenact this. But we played the little game of dressing each other as snowmen. And then we did, some movement activities with it. And these were, this was from years ago when I started the Bulch Nature School, which is at the Fairbanks Museum here in St. Johnsbury. And we had this 1 year where for 42 days in a row, it never got above freezing. And some of those days were like really wicked cold. So we were stuck inside. And so that was where we kind of had to like tap into some interesting activities to do with the kids. So to keep them interested. All right, let's see. I think we'll go to Belinda and then we'll go to Joy again. Hi, Belinda. It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Hi, April. Happy New Year to you too. The Five Little Snowman one that you were talking about, I think that was one of the ones that I found.
Okay, cool.
It goes five little snowmen standing in a row, each had a hat, a big red bow. Out came the sun and shone all day. One little snowman melted away. 4 little snowmen standing in a row, each had a hat and a big red bow. Out came the sun and showed all day. One little snowman melted away, and then it goes down. Is that the one that you were talking about?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I think
And then
we have similar songs that the words are a little bit different, but yeah, it's essentially that one. Yes, thank you for that.
And then I found another one, and it goes with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It goes, snowflake, snowflake, dance around. Snowflake, snowflake, touch the ground. Snowflake, snowflake in the air, snowflake, snowflake everywhere. Snowflake, snowflake, dance around. Snowflake, snowflake, touch the ground. And I got 4 or 5 others, but I can't figure out how to put them in the Google thing, so I'll just email them to you so you
Yeah.
can put them in.
Yeah, email them to me and then I can do that tomorrow.
Okay.
My plan is to kind of clean up the document a little bit. I don't have a lot of
Mhm.
time to like make it like polished, just because it's like there's too many things happening. But I will, yeah, send them into my email and then I'll transfer them in there. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Joy.
Hi, yes, thanks for having me again.
Sure.
I loved your craft where you had the kids making something. I've also done something similar with making a snowman where I cut out like a picture frame and I used felt. So I each give them like let's all build a snowman, snowman, snowman. Let's all build a snowman, starting with his. And then I'll cut out like little pieces of felt, and there'll be like 3 different size balls, some coal for his eyes, and I'll give each of the children one, and then they can each come up and like contribute to building the snowman on the felt board. I find that the felt board works like fairly well for my classes.
Yeah.
And I just cut it out. It's simple, it's quick and cheap. And scarves, like using white scarves in the winter has been a lot of fun for the kids. There's a couple like really great songs out there. There's one by Music with Marlowe where you take your scarves and you're just going to they do different actions. Each child has a scarf and it goes winter, 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 winter. You go up and down and then you swirl your scarf. Snow is falling down. Go up and down again. Winter, 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 winter. Snow is falling down. And then you do big circles. It blows around and around and around and around and around. And then you do it the other way. And there's a couple of other verses, and her name was Music with Marlowe. I thought it was really great on YouTube. And for the older kids, I haven't tried it yet. And I'm not sure how, if any of you use speakers in your class, in your classes. Just putting on like the Wizards of Winter by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and there's some really great like scarf songs that you can do with like the actions with the music, like how fast it's going, if it's low and waving your scarf really low, the music's really high, waving it in the high, and there's like a really rockin' version out there. There's some really rockin' versions out there of people doing that with scarves that looks really fun, which I haven't tried yet, but it looks great.
Awesome. And so
Yeah,
I think the
I'm gonna
music
do that with the Nutcracker. Oh, I can't wait. I saw that too. I
Say it
was
again,
gonna
Carrie?
I saw the same thing, what she was just talking about with the scarves, and to the tune of like the Nutcracker, and oh my gosh, it looks so much fun. I can't wait to do that with the girls. I just wanted to say that I had seen it too, and that it looked really, really fun.
The winter scarves.
Yeah.
I was wondering, while I have you here, for the music teachers, do you find that you're getting a lot of are the children like really engaged, like with the amount of actions that you're doing with the songs? I wonder, like sometimes if they're getting enough action. That's one of my concerns, because I know for me personally, I've been a performer for a while and have worked with kids that I constantly feel like I need them like doing something with their hands. Like they're not going to just sit there and listen to you sing unless I'm doing an action, like I'll sing Here Comes Susie Snowflake while I'm passing out each of the scarves. They just won't sit there and listen to me sing. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering, are you constantly having them engaged with hand movements with your songs? Thank you so much again for letting me give me a moment here.
Yeah, I in my practice, so I'm not a music teacher, but I am a seasoned, I like seasoned more than old or veteran. So I'm a seasoned preschool teacher, early childhood educator, but definitely movement goes right hand in hand with music. And we know that children, they learn through movement and they learn through moving their bodies. And so you're right, it's not, they're not our captive audience and they're not going to sit still while we perform for them. But yeah, so songs that integrate movement, I think is really great. I think music can also be used throughout the day. Like it doesn't have to be a whole group activity. And so sometimes, we think about, it's only done during group time, but we can certainly bring songs in at other times. But if anybody wants to chime in on that question about movement, you're welcome to. Okay.
I just think it's so important just to chime in real quick, to be engaged while you're doing the song tree or doing whatever song you are, because I've seen people try to just sing along with and I don't know, it just doesn't seem as successful. So almost like you're inviting your friends to dance with you on stage. Not that you're putting on a show, but you're putting on the show with the friends. And you have to really be able to get out of your silly box and just kind of be as silly as you can during those songs. So the friends see that you're modeling at that point in time. If you're singing, like kind of like, here, I'm singing at you, you're modeling, that's how we sing. But if you're modeling that we can sing and dance at the same time, they're going to sing and dance with you at the same time. So I'm a full believer in that. If you're going to facilitate music time, you really got to be dancing along with it and being the silliest version of yourself you can be for that.
Yeah.
I think it's either like dance, movement, or doing the hand gestures with the song, because then that's going to help them remember and they're going to have fun. I mean, they jump up, they love to do those movements, and then you can even turn it into something else with them. And just it's just great, to have them connect the movement with the song.
Yeah.
Especially connect their movement with their breath too. So like, you can teach them that as well.
Mhm.
But that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's yoga.
Well, and depending on how old your children are, cooperative play is also something that's really important to both the children and helps with the movement pieces. Any kind of songs that can do cooperative play will allow them to engage with each other along with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll go to Susan and then I'll show an example of how I say manage my songbook, but it's just, and many of you have already heard me say that before, but I'll keep it short. But just how it is good to have sort of like a body of songs that you can rely on. And so even though it's wintertime, I'm not only singing winter songs with my kids, but having I'll show you I'll find a picture of it and show you my binder that I use. But Susan, you have your hand up.
The thing I just wanted to add to the movement and songs is it's another way to learn the song. They're not just learning it by listening and watching. They're learning it by actually moving their body, and it's another way of learning.
Yes.
And some kids learn better like that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So one of the let me just see here. Okay. About 2 years ago, I completely switched over to using Google Docs and Google Slides, and like I'm just do all the Google things. It's easier because I can access it from any location. It's in the cloud. But sometimes I go to look for something and I'm like, oh, darn, I think that's in the old computer, or my old system. But this is how, and I know many of you've heard this before, so I won't spend a lot of time here, but this is the super easiest way that I have figured out to manage a classroom songbook. So in my classroom, I only have one that's at the easel. And as we learn a new song, we put the paper in there. And so that song that I showed you that had like colorful icons, it's like clip art, or sometimes we have like little hand drawings on them. We have one song on each page, and then we put it into the binder. One year someone had donated binders to the kids, and I photocopied, because the kids were really into the songbook in particular that year. So I photocopied all of the songs and I sent them and hole punch them and put them into the binder, and then they took the binder home. That was years ago. But how I do it now is I don't do it every week, but as we master a song or as we learn a song, a lot of times kids will take home just like pieces of it, not the whole thing. And so families will sometimes ask, like, well, he's singing the song about 5 little pumpkins or something, but I'm not really sure. And so I'll print those and include them, or I'll either do a paper copy that I give them in the folder, or I'll send a digital copy of it. But I really think that the classroom songbook is a great way to use. It's that emergent literacy that we're reading the words on the page. Each page has some sort of clip art, so it's easier for them to remember, or because they're not reading the words yet, we're emergent, right? But they're looking so they can flip to the page. So sometimes what we do is, that book is out all the time during free choice time. It is an indoor thing. I don't really take it outside, but kids will go to it and then they'll sing to each other, or one will play teacher and one will, use the book. And it's just, to me, it's a really great way of reinforcing, concept of print and also tracking text. And then another way that I use, this is clearly an old picture, whoops. This is from 2016, but another way is if you had a digital file with these pages that had one song on each one, when you go to print them, you can print 4 sheets to a page. So when you print it that way, they come out to be this little, small size. And then I go back and forth about lamination, right? Lamination is plastic. It's not good for the earth. So sometimes what I've done is I just sometimes I don't laminate them. I just put them on cardstock. But we have this small size and we hole punch it in the corner, and then we use one of those rings. Like this is a little ring here. These are from this songbook. This is quite a number of years ago, but this was from my friend Sally at Fairy Dust Teaching or Wonderled. And then we can take that very portably. It's not small enough that I could slip it into my pocket, but it's portable enough that I could use it during transitions. I could take it outside with us. We could use it in different ways. And so those are the two ways that I print the words so that I can use them in my teaching as well. All right, let's see who's got another hand up. Sure, we have more songs. Okay. Oh, there's some in the chat here. Let me read what this says. Oh.
Oh, I have a good one if you need
Carrie,
one.
sure.
Okay. All right, hold on. Let me open so you can see my hands. So it's more like a fall song because it's about a tree. All right, so it goes. I'm an acorn small and round, lying on the cold, cold ground. People always step on me. That is why I'm cracked, you see. I'm a nut. 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 I'm an oak tree big and tall. Yellow leaves will start to fall. People always climb on me. That is why I'm so happy. I'm a tree, hee hee. I'm a tree, hee hee. I'm a tree, I'm a tree, I'm a tree, hee hee. They love it. They love it.
That's great.
Love that song.
I do think a lot of joy comes from singing. And I think, like Jeremy was saying too, is like we don't have to sing and be stiff about it. Like we can have fun and be silly. And I think that, it kind of models for kids. I think that's a great model. All right, let's see. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. Susan, did you just put your hand up, or is that an old hand?
No, I put it up again because I came across a funny story that I thought I'd share about getting ready to go outside in the winter. and it says a teacher's helping kids get ready to go outside, and it's taking forever. It's a normal thing, and one child is having a really hard time getting their boots on, so they ask the teacher to help them. And she's struggling too because the boots are a little small, and she finally gets them on the child, and the child says, "These are not my boots." So then she takes them back off again, which is just as hard. She struggles getting them off, and they're finally off, and the child says, "They're my sister's boots. My mom said I had to wear them today." So then she gets them back on and struggles just as hard getting them back on again. And they're finally on, and she goes, "Okay, so where are your mittens?" And he says, "They're in the toes of my boots." So
That's funny.
just add a little levity to the situation.
Absolutely.
You gotta laugh sometimes.
That is funny. Yeah, the funniest things, I don't know. I kind of wish that I kept a journal of all the silly things like that happen. Another great source, and someone had put a couple of screenshots of songs that were created by someone, a blogger called Teaching Mama, teachingmama.org, and she has one of, I just put the link to it, and I'll put the link also in the booklet, so we have it. But let me show you, whoops. Her page is really busy, so there's like all kinds of ads popping up and all kinds of things happening. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I don't think that I can. But this is the link I just put into the chat, the Teaching Mama one. She has lots of different printable songs, not just winter ones, but this page has the winter ones. So Snowball to the tune of Are You Sleeping? Make a snowball, throw it now, make a snowball, make a snowball, throw it now, but these, what I like about these is that there's a variety of them. This link has 10 different ones, and I think you have to kind of scroll to the bottom to find where there's the snow printable download. Is it this one right here? Yeah. So I put the URL that takes you to her site, because she created these printables, not me. So I want to make sure that she has the attribution. But this is a free printable, and these are the kinds of songs that I put into my songbook. It's not the most they're kind of like simple preschool songs, but what I like is they're printable, and it's really easy to print, put them in, learn the song, put it into our songbook, and then also send them home. So I think that that's a really great resource, and I will put that link that takes you there into the songbook. Let's see. Okay. All right. Sometimes people are more interested in talking in smaller groups. So we're going to transition to just a short breakout time, because I know many people, it was interesting, the responses that I got for this one. And they're like, I really do want to come, but oh my gosh, you're not going to call my name and make me sing. And I was like, of course I'm not. Like, me, you come to my workshops and my courses and stuff. I would never do that to you, but I am going to pop you into smaller breakout rooms, so that you could have a little bit of engagement. It's going to be short. Oh, hold on one second. There's something else in the chat. Yeah. Yeah, those of you who are from Vermont and have your BFIS numbers, just hang on to that, because when we come back from the breakout room, I'm going to give you a link that takes you to a little form that you fill out so that you can get we call them DPDs, or documentation of professional development, and it will count for BFIS. Those of you who aren't from Vermont, you can fill out the form as well, and I will send a certificate of attendance, which I'm not pre-qualified in all of the 50 states. It really would be handy if people like me, if there was like one system and you could get certified or whatever. But generally people have been able to use my trainings because anyway, I will give that to you when we come back from breakout rooms. But in the breakout rooms, you can choose to sing with each other or just chat, talk about what works for you, what doesn't. let's see. We want to keep them kind of smaller, but also not too small, so that, let's say 3 to 4 people. This is just randomly assigned. We're going to take, let's take 10 minutes. In 9 minutes, I will click a button and it'll say, oh, breakout room is going to close in a minute. But you can continue to talk for that minute. Okay. So a little blue button will pop up and you can click on that and it will transport you into a breakout room. So you can sing to each other, you can chat, what's working, what's not working, whatever you want to talk about. Okay. Oh, I totally forgot that I was recording. Hopefully you fast forwarded through that. We're getting ready to get back on. Here we go. All right.
only did one.
One of the things that I noticed is that we have two Sheilas, and Sheila Quinville has her last name, but the other Sheila doesn't have her last name. So if, Sheila, if you can,
Oh. Sheila, I think that, do we have 3 Sheilas?
Do we have 3 Sheilas? We might. Wait.
Yeah, we got 3 Sheilas.
Look at that.
Should I put mine in the chat?
Oh, Sheila.
I'm Sheila Hathorn.
Do it, sorry.
Hathorn. Sheila Hathorn. Okay.
I've never been anywhere with 3 Sheilas. No,
yeah.
it's not a common name, really.
Yeah.
It's not.
Something about Sheila and sing-alongs. Let's unpack that a bit. Yeah, that's a great question, Tess. Tess in the chat says, one thing we talked about is we didn't see a lot of songs about ice, and if we know any. I'll have to look off the top of my head. I can remember, oh, I have a song about frost, but trying to think about ice. I have to think about that one. Oh, and Sheila has and they're the other Sheila. Thanks for dropping that in the chat. It's a nice, looks like a nice Polish name, if I would have to guess.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. 3 Sheilas in one. So in the chat, I'm going to drop a link, and this is the attendance verification. So if you want to receive credit for being here, we're not done yet, but I'm dropping it in there so that you could open that and you could work on it. It's short and sweet. Those of you who are still new to filling out Google Forms, like I'm telling you, I don't know, I'm like Google forming it all the time. So let me just show you when you click the link, you will see something that looks like this. Just your first name, your last name, your email address. If you're in Vermont, you'll put your BFIS number there. If you're not from Vermont, just leave that blank. And then if you could leave just, I'm talking brief, little feedback, like kind of what works or ideas that might work in the future. I've been leading professional development since 2011, and I'm growth mindset, so I love, I'm totally open to feedback. So that's what the form looks like, and I would like you to fill that out before we finish our time together at 7:30, because then I'll know I'll know that you filled it out. That's the attendance verification is how I create the attendance form that I send to BFIS. And if you don't fill it out, then it'll be hard for me to know that you were here. And once you fill it out, you should get a screen that looks like this. It just says attendance verification. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Keep singing. And so if you have filled it out, that little thing will pop up. But like I said, we're not done just yet. We still have a bit of time. So if you had questions or comments, you certainly could, or had a song that you were like, oh yes, I can't leave this awesome group of people without singing. But let's see, Jeremy, we're going to call on you, and then Miss Joy.
Just a quick follow-up to the form. I had a question about it.
Yeah,
Bright
sure.
Future, so fun to access. Let me tell you, every time I go on there, I forget my password. So I don't know if anybody.
If you don't have your BFIS number, you can email me tomorrow with just the number, but fill out the rest of it just so that you're in the spreadsheet.
That's what I was going to ask. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'll send you that.
Absolutely. Okay.
Get on Bright Futures whenever that will be.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. And Joy.
I'm sorry, this is my 3rd time. Sorry, one more time.
Oh, good. No problem. You are not taking up too much space.
This is in response to the ice question.
Oh, okay.
So a cute little activity I've done with my kids is I just go into the dollar store and I pick up those little paper plates. and I'll get like some tape and I'll tape them on their feet and I'll put on like a nice classical piece like the Skater's Waltz. And the kids have fun skating around on the carpet and on the floor. And we'll do like figure skating moves. We'll twirl. You can pause the music and have them freeze. And yeah, so that was just, I just saw a question about the skating. So that is my
Yeah.
what I've done. So thank
That's
you.
awesome, for sure. And exploring ice is such a great scientific exploration of freeze and thaw and what happens. I have I'm trying to see. So that one of the other things that I'll add to the email, and I know that some of you already have this from if you were part of the Wonders of Winter series last year, or if you're currently taking it. But I have another document that I'll pop in when I send you the email tomorrow. There'll be a link to this, and it's my Wonders of Winter integrated curriculum. And in there, it's not songs about ice, but there's several different activities. The section about freeze and thaw has a lot of great explorations about ice. And I'll see if I can find an ice song and add it in there too. One of the things that I love exploring with kids is icicles. And this is something that you can do, indoors or out, but with like measurement and size and just looking at, the shape of it, how it starts wide and then it comes down to the tip. And, when obviously icicles can be really dangerous. And if you're in licensed programs, the licensor would, if you have icicles on your overhanging in your play area, it would be considered a hazard. But bringing some icicles in for kids to explore, and I do that both in the indoor and the outdoor classroom. I think it's quite fun. Julia asks, how did you attach the plates to their shoes or feet? I'm imagining you're just kind of stepping on the paper plate, and it's probably not actually
You can do that with bare feet. They'll stick a little better. But I just grabbed some, like the clear packing tape and just I kind of folded the plate over their shoe and like went around with the plastic packing tape, and it didn't like harm their sneakers or anything like that. And it was easy to take on and off.
Awesome. One of the stories that I like to share stories, and usually, we share the stories of our successes, but we should share our flops and failures too. I was, my daughter, who's 14 now, she was in my preschool classroom, and one day she and her friend had wax paper, and we were doing a project, and then they started, for whatever reason, they put the wax paper on the floor, and they were doing kind of ice skating with the wax paper. And I was like, oh, that's actually really clever, and so they were doing that, and it was, it's going well. They were having a great time, but the boy slipped, and it's the worst injury. I mean, I take kids to the forest. We do, lots of risky play. This was indoors with wax paper, but he slipped doing it, and he bit through his tongue, and like, oh my gosh, it was like copious amounts of blood. And so anytime people are talking about like, sliding on things, I'm like, oh, I kind of like, okay, it's gonna be okay. But chances are that wouldn't have happened again, and it was just a fluke. But let's see. So with looking at the form, I have 20 people have filled it out. I feel like I'm playing the lottery. Okay. Big numbers, big numbers. 20 people have filled it out, which means that there are still 10 people that still need to submit it. So in order to know for sure that it was submitted, you should see that form, that page that pops up that I showed there. So to know that.
Hey, April, I'm
Yeah.
trying to sign into Google.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
giving me a hard time on my iPad. So I am working on it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no pressure. It's easier for me if we get it done tonight than like, having a bunch of loose ends. But we do have a few more minutes. I'm wondering if someone has maybe one or two people have closing circle songs that they like to sing.
I don't have like a song, but I just wanted to add what we're doing with what we did with ice
okay.
yesterday. Every year when we do a gingerbread theme, they're still into Christmas and everything. So I trickle it into January when we come back from break. and I bought these gingerbread molds a couple years ago, and before the kids come back, I make an ice gingerbread for each child and put it on a tray, and they paint it with watercolors, and then we just rinse it off, and then they do it again, and then rinse it off and do it again. And so sometimes it'll just, you know, melt away, and sometimes it stays pretty hardy, and you can put it in the freezer and bring it back out again. But painting ice blocks or ice shapes with watercolors, they're vibrant. It's a fun activity.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And I think the ice blocks can be really fun, especially when we have those really frigid temperatures. What I like to do is make ice blocks in different types of containers, so that the ice blocks, some will look kind of like a cube and some will look like cylinders and things like that. One of the great explorations that I like to do is to have Epsom salts. So it's kind of like, or any kind of coarser, chunkier kind of salt, and you sprinkle that onto the ice blocks. And then you can hear it cracking because, you know, ice melts when you put the salt on it, the salt makes the ice melt. And what's cool is really great observation and kind of inquiry, like scientific inquiry for young kids, is to watch that the salt actually starts to go down into the ice, like kind of drills down in the ice, and it creates these tunnels. And so you can kind of look at it and you kind of start to, you know, and then kids will say, oh, it's almost like it's a tunnel, like it's, you know, like how the mice make tunnel, or the groundhogs tunnel under the ground. And so kind of making these connections with the natural world. And then what I do often is I'll get liquid watercolors or really watered down tempera paint, and we can drip them onto the ice blocks, and then the paint goes down into the tunnels. And you can really see, it's really quite beautiful. And I have found with liquid watercolors, it works best because it kind of blends into it. So that's a fun exploration, but you will have this other resource too that you'll be able to get some ideas from. Kathleen has her hand up.
I'm assuming that it would work fine with like pretzel salt.
Yeah.
Versus Epsom salts or things that maybe you don't want kids sampling.
Yeah.
Because I have some samplers for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, good point. And it's funny because some kids actually do like the flavor of salt. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, awesome. I'm just reading a couple of the comments. Yay, leaving with a happy feeling. That's awesome. Yeah, awesome. One of the comments was they enjoyed being in breakout rooms with people from other parts of the country. For sure. Okay. Excellent. So we have 27 people who have filled out the form, which is a pretty good, nice high number. If the form didn't work for you for some reason, because there's 30 of you on here, so actually I filled it out because I did a little test run. So that would mean that 4 people didn't fill it out. If you're one of those 4s, make sure that you hang on so that we can just check in and figure out how, either I'll try to manually put you in or we'll figure out how to get you in there. But I would love if there's someone, and I'm not going to call anyone because I promised I wouldn't, but there's one of you that would love to sing a goodbye song to kind of wrap us up. We have 1 minute left.
I'll do one.
I was almost going to call on you, Billy, and then I was like, well, that wouldn't be fair. How equitable is that? You know, you did a good introduction, and then you're going to be like, okay, Billy, you have to do. No.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Billy.
The time that we have been together, the time that we have been together has gone too fast. I had hoped this time would last, that it wouldn't be gone so fast. When this time is in the past, we will remember. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Billy. Good night. So feel free to log off if the Google form didn't work for you. Do hang on so that I can get your attendance. But otherwise, have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That
Thanks
was
for
a really sweet goodbye.
Thank you.
I know.
Bye.
Like all warm and fuzzy after that goodbye.
No, I
I was-
go. Good night. She's saying me to sleep. Have a great night, y'all.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I was able to get it done.
You
April,
did.
so
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Erica. Perfect.